So today we're going to talk about how you can convert your early bay from 68 to 71 with disc brakes instead of drum brakes in the front. Again, like on my other videos, there's different ways to do it. This is a pretty cheap way to do it. CSP sells some awesome products, no doubt about it, but yeah, you get a little in trouble sometimes with parts don't fit together. So I like to ride the drum spindles on this one. I have a clip so you can see it. So again, comparison, late bay stock spindle. This is for the left side, so it was just because I was here a start. But the same principle you can use and mix what you want, but I like the drop spindles. And with the drop spindles, you have only what I have found out yet one system you can put on them, because they the drop spindles you can buy from empi or JB Group is for late bay, so that's not the early bay. You can fit them on; they fit perfectly on your trading arms from an early bay. From 68 to 79, the trading arms are the same, if no matter if it's early bay or late bay or whatever. So on this one, as I showed you in the video before, I have drop spindles from a late bay on my early bay, and there you can fit disc brakes from the late bay. You get a little locked in with the bolt pattern, but you can do this. If you take late bay, they run 5x112 in bolt pattern, but with an adapter you can buy from the local shop you buy your stuff from. JH Group have them as well. You can have them custom made, but with this setup, it's 5x112. It's a very cheap option if you ask me. For the brake parts I have here, there is for about 3,200 Danish crowns, or about 450 something euro. So what you're gonna need is this one. In the comment or in the description on YouTube, I will give you all the numbers I use to make this conversion on your early bay, but we can go through them here as well. So of course, you need two disc brakes. You need two new hubs from this one, like this. And the order number for that is and the disc brakes number are this. So disc and hubs. Then you need a set of bearings for both wheels. And funny enough, these bearings fit from 68 to 79. So two sets of them. Then you need a set of brake pads. And they are like this. And the number of the bearings. And last but not least, you need a set of calipers. And they are like this. Probably good idea to buy two new brake lines if the one on your car is rough, but yeah, that's not very expensive either. This system will bolt on a late bay spindle. If you don't want to have it dropped, you can find two used late bay spindles, and you can do this for, as I said, about 450 euros or 3,200 Danish kroner. The spindles, I think, is around 350 euros for a set of drop spindles from MP or JP Group. But I will link them too. So this is what we have to do. Now we just have to put it on this one. So a time-lapse time, and maybe we talk about what I'm gonna do. So first, let's get the old stuff off first. So the hub and the two rings, the inside of the ring for the rear bearing and the small ring for the front bearing. Find something that fits your bearing, so you have something to push on. You can hit it in, but you have to be careful not to damage the bearing. So now I have a press, might as well use it. So find something that fits. This is pretty good. It must be a little smaller than the bearing itself, so it don't get caught up in the edges. So this is perfect for the front and for the back. I'm pretty sure I can use this one, and it fits perfect over the bearing. So I use a 46mm top for like taking the real nut off of the rear drums of a bay window. So this works pretty good. So now we press time-lapse time. Bearing rings pressed in the hole, both sides. So now grease the bearing up, and there's a little ring. I don't know what to call it. Yeah, O-ring maybe. That's a pretty good guess. So grease up the bearing. This fit it. You can just hit it with a rubber hammer or something. It would slide right in. Make it a little, give it a little grease on the edges here, so it runs better on the hub of the spindle. So greasing up. It should just slide on this. You can never use too much grease. I hate grease, but it's a very necessary deal to keep the bearings alive. And we just use the old nut and washer. And the first time you have to tighten this, you tighten a little more than it uses to get the bearing to settle in properly, and then you just back it up a bit backwards. So I used to do like this. Tight a little more than it should to be sure that the bearing and the grease is fully in contact. Then loosen it a bit and tighten it until I can't feel any wear. And then there's a little umbraco or contra screw here. You just tighten that one, and then you're good. I used to check them when I've been driving for some time. Just check everything is not going loose or too tight. Just let everything just settle in, and then have a look at it, and maybe you have to tighten a bit more later or loosen it up. So I can't remember the spot. Anyway. So this is pretty easy. a little brake clean where the disc should be, and then we can put that on. Probably somebody sits and think now, why doesn't he use any copper or anti-seize or something between the disc and the hub? Well, I don't use my old cars in the winter. It's a summer vehicle, so don't see the point doing that. But you do what you want. I do it this way. It works fine. And now for the disc brake. There's a little nut here to keep the disc brake in order. They can be difficult to find, these small nuts. I just have them from an old setup. But if you don't have them, I sometimes just take a wheel nut and let it go in, and then leave it there while you're putting it together. You can just do like this, and then it won't go anywhere while you're putting caliper and the other stuff on. So it's a nice little tip if you like. Well, now for some important stuff. The disc brakes, when they transport them, they put some kind of anti-corrosion on it, or grease or something. So you have to really clean them up, or they will, all the grease will be in your disc brake pads first time you brake, or even just thinking about using the brakes. So maybe be sure to get them cleaned before you're putting on the disc brakes calipers. So the bolts that goes to the caliper is actually the same as bolts for the wheel studs. It's M14 by 1.5 millimeter that goes into the disc brake calipers brackets on the spindles. So they're like this. Now we have to get the brake pads in, the new calipers, and put them on. There's a little spline with it, with a little lock ring here, so they go from this side and in. I usually just do this, keep them not moving. A little spring to keep the brake pads tight. And then just to give them a little tap, they should go right in. And we are ready to put on the brake caliper. Remember, there's a left and a right caliper, so don't mess it up. In this case, 80 is right, and I think it was 70 that was left. And now for the brake line. And there you have it. It works. Now we not just need to bleed them. See if I'll put in this video or in another one. Thanks for watching. Hoping you can use this for your old bus. Again, this is a pretty cheap option. If you take the whole kit with drop spindles, disc brakes, calipers, hubs, bearings, it's about, I'll put a price in the video so you can see it. So it's a pretty decent deal, and the good thing about this, it's stock parts. So whenever you get a bearing dysfunction, or the caliper is broken, or your disc is worn out, you just buy aftermarket brakes if you can find original ones. So easy and cost much less than other brake systems. And again, these are fairly big brakes for a car like this, so no problem. I've driven with it many kilometers, and it works fine. Again, some countries don't like adapters. Like I see this, you have a couple of options. If you saw my other video about front suspension and rear suspension, the adapters I put on this can also be found in multiple places where you can buy them. You got 5 by 112, like the disc brake itself come with from an late bay. And then I have Porsche pattern in here, and I got the big pattern 5 by 205. So a lot of options in one setup. Yeah, and the wheel horse like this, especially me, because sometimes you want to change the wheels, and you're good to go. I will say you cannot use this adapter system if you're wanting to run on Fuchs wheels, because Fuchs wheels don't have a pocket in here to let the adapter screw sit. But what you can do is you can buy, for newer cars, you can get an auto-styled adapter in a lot of times in aluminum, and then you bolt your adapter on. And the problem with this is it's much thicker in the material. This is only like 15 millimeters, and most of the adapters is from 20 millimeters and up to 30 millimeters or even more. But when you do that, then this little bolt can be flush with the adapter, so then you can run with Fuchs wheels. But not with this system. This system only allow you to go with Porsche Kopfhell, cookie cutters, telephone dials, C1 I believe they're called. The main thing is that must be a little pocket for this bolt if you want to run with this steel adapter system. Otherwise you have to run an aluminium or steel adapter that's much thicker to make this bolt kind of disappear down in the adapter to make it flush, so Fuchs wheels will go on. That's not a problem in itself, because Fuchs wheels are typically 4.5 or maybe 5.5 in the front with a deep ET measuring, so the wheel will automatically tuck very far in. So you could do this. It's not a big problem, but you have to Google your adapters for 5 to 112 to 5 to 130. Then you can use this. So no problem. Thanks for watching. I hope you can use this for your application on your car. Get the brake system, get the easiness out of it, and just learn something about it.